Bikers mocked the teen girl's jacket until they saw the patch that left them speechless. That sentence alone could flip the entire energy of a place. And if you're here right now, go ahead and leave a quick comment saying what you think was on that patch. It helps this story reach more people while you enjoy what's coming, because what happened that afternoon at the old gas station was something no one could have predicted, not even the bikers themselves. It was late afternoon, the kind of time when the sky is half orange, half fading blue, and the heat sinks into the asphalt. A rumble echoed across the empty road as a group of 5 bikers pulled up to the out-of-the-way gas station. They were the kind of men who walked into a place and instantly changed the atmosphere. Loud laughs, heavy boots, worn leather, and that air of danger that made everyone step aside. Everyone except her. The girl couldn't have been more than 16 or 17. Thin, quiet, standing alone by the vending machine with a duffel bag at her feet. What caught their attention wasn't her face, nor the fact that she looked exhausted. It was her jacket, oversized, color faded, and covered with patches, some crooked, some old, some clearly hand. At first, the bikers didn't hide the laughter. Not even a little. The biggest one, Tank, nudged the man beside him and pointed right at her. "Look at that," he bellowed. "Patchwork princess." The others laughed. Another man added, "Bet she found that thing in a dumpster." Even the guy pumping gas stopped to look, shaking his head, like he felt bad for her. The girl didn't flinch. She didn't lift her head. She just kept her hands inside her sleeves and stared at the vending machine like it was the only safe place in the world. That only made them laugh harder. If you would have defended her or stayed quiet. By the way, tell me in the comments. I am curious what kind of person you'd be in a moment like this. But everything changed when Tank swaggered closer, just trying to get a better look. "What's that one supposed to be?" he said, pointing to a small circular patch on the upper sleeve of her jacket. "Your little Girl Scout badge?" The girl stepped back only one step, but it was enough for him to notice it properly. And when he did, the smirk on his face vanished. He froze completely. The other bikers noticed the shift and came closer, confused. "What is it, man? She got a unicorn patch or something," one joked, but the joke died in his throat the second he saw it too. A black emblem over a wing, and beneath it, a number. Not just any number, a number every biker on that highway knew. A number belonging to one of the most feared, respected underground riding groups in the entire region. A group so off-grid, most people thought they were a myth. The Iron Remnants. No one wore their patch by accident. No one sewed it onto a jacket for decoration, and absolutely no one who wore it was to be mocked. Tank swallowed hard. The others stared, suddenly very, very aware of what they'd done. But that was just the beginning, because the girl finally looked up. Her eyes weren't scared anymore. They were steady, sharp, tired, yes, but burning with something none of them expected. "You done laughing?" she asked quietly. Tank lifted his hands slowly, as if approaching a wild animal. "Where did you get that patch, kid?" "Why?" she replied. "You think it's fake?" The men exchanged glances. No one dared answer. She sighed, the kind of sigh that carried weight far beyond her age, and sat down on the curb, pulling her duffel bag closer. The gas station was silent now, except for the distant hum of the highway. Even the cashier inside pressed himself against the window, watching. "Look," Tank said, calmer now. "If that thing on your arm is real, you need to tell us how. Because the remnants don't just hand out patches, and they definitely don't give them to kids. The girl didn't answer immediately. Instead, she pulled her sleeve back just enough to reveal something else, a thin leather bracelet with a metal plate. The moment the bikers saw it, their expressions changed again. It wasn't a bracelet, it was a tag, and engraved on it was a name they all recognized, a name none of them expected to ever see again. Her father's name, a man the Iron Remnants used to call Ghost Rider, not because of movies or stories, but because he was a legend among them. A man who vanished years ago after saving members of multiple biker groups during a violent ambush. Some said he died, others said he went underground. But nobody knew he had a daughter. Tank stepped back like he'd been punched. Ghost had a kid. She nodded slowly. He didn't want anyone to know, said it wasn't safe. The air thickened. Not one of the bikers dared breathe too loudly. If you're still here, hit that like button, because this is where the story takes a turn nobody sees coming. The girl looked down at the patch again, brushing her fingers over it. He told me if anything ever happened to him. I was supposed to find someone who recognized this symbol. Her voice cracked just slightly. I guess I found the wrong people first. Tank's eyes softened. Kid, what happened to him? She hesitated, then opened her duffel bag. Inside wasn't clothing, wasn't food, wasn't anything a runaway teen would normally carry. It was a helmet. A cracked, burnt helmet. The same helmet Ghost Rider was last seen wearing. The bikers stepped back in shock. One muttered, "No way, no way." The girl continued, voice shaking now. They were after him. And now they're after me. I didn't know where else to go. Who's they? Tank asked. She swallowed hard. The Vipers. Every biker stiffened at the name. The Vipers were notorious, violent, ruthless, and heavily armed. Anyone targeted by them didn't survive long. Tank looked at the other bikers, and for the first time since arriving, their expressions weren't mocking or amused or arrogant. They were terrified. Because if the Vipers were hunting her, then the Vipers were coming here. And then it happened, the sound none of them wanted to hear. Motorcycles. Everyone, mount up. The girl tried to pull a bag over her shoulder, but Tank grabbed her arm. "You stay behind me," he said. "Your dad saved our people once. We're not letting his kid die on a gas station curb." Her eyes widened. It was the first time she looked genuinely emotional. Not scared, not defensive, but moved. "They'll kill you?" she whispered. Tank cracked his neck. "Not before we give them hell." The Vipers roared up the driveway like thunder. But when they saw the girl surrounded by 5 bikers standing their ground, they skidded to a halt, confused. Tank leaned forward on his bike. "You're not touching her." The standoff was silent, deadly, electric. But then one of the Vipers pointed at the girl's patch and froze. He said something to the others. They hesitated. Then, unbelievably, they turned around. They left. Just like that, the girl stared, stunned. Why did they leave? Tank took a deep breath and pointed at the patch. "Not because of us. Because that patch on your arm, it doesn't mean you're Ghost Rider's daughter." He paused. "It means you're under his protection. Even dead men cast big shadows." She didn't even realize she was crying until the tears hit her hands. Tank placed his helmet on her head. "You ride with us now. And if anyone asks, tell them the remnants left behind more than a legend." And for the first time in a long time, the girl smiled. If you felt this story, go ahead and subscribe and click the video on the screen right now for the next part. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when she meets the people her father once saved. This story is just getting started.